Let's dive right into this explainer and unpack a truly fascinating story of transformation. You see, today we're looking at how a teenager from the tiny island of Madeira leveraged, well, unparalleled athletic success to build a meticulously crafted billion-dollar off-field business empire. We all know the footballer, right? But understanding the architect behind the brand, that is where the real masterclass begins.
A debut that screamed promise and unstoppable destiny. Picture it, October 3rd, 2002, Sporting Lisbon. The sheer electricity of that debut was a singular moment that didn't just kick off a career, it literally ignited a global phenomenon. I mean, it's kind of hard to even imagine a world where CR7 isn't a global superstar, but every legend has to start somewhere, and this was his spark.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to start with the making of a legend, move right into a club football dynasty and breaking international records, before looking at building the CR7 empire, and finally wrapping up with the power of influence.
All right, Part 1, the making of a legend, from Madeira streets to Sporting's academy. Because long before the global empire, there was just a kid with an unmistakable drive.
When you look at his early timeline, the juxtaposition is absolutely stunning. Imagine this, in the year 2000, at just 15 years old, he's diagnosed with a racing heart condition. He actually has to undergo career-threatening surgery. But in true Ronaldo fashion, he's back in training just days later. Fast forward to 2003, a mere 3 years after that surgery, and he's signed by Manchester United for £12.25 million. That made him the single most expensive teenager in English football history at the time. Wild, right?
Think back to him stepping onto the pitch for that debut. Even without scoring a goal that day, a 17-year-old dazzles with this maddening dribbling and speed in a 3-0 win against Moreirense. It wasn't just about playing a match. It officially introduced a future global superstar to the professional stage. This was the exact launchpad that would go on to catch the eye of Europe's most elite managers.
Moving on to Section 2, a club football dynasty, scaling the heights of European football. This relentless on-field success? It served as the absolute engine of his brand's flywheel.
Just look at how his value scaled over time. Everywhere he went, from England to Spain to Italy, his worth just exploded. He didn't just shatter transfer records like that insane £80 million move to Real Madrid in 2009. He immediately generated massive commercial returns. To put that into perspective, when he moved to Juventus in 2018 for €100 million, his number 7 shirt generated $62.4 million in sales in a single day. I mean, that is the literal definition of commercial gravity.
So here is the ultimate takeaway when we're talking about brand building. Hype is temporary, but performance is permanent. 5 Ballon d'Or awards, 5 Champions League titles, 7 league championships across 3 different countries, and of course, reigning as the all-time Champions League top scorer. These aren't just shiny trophies to put on a shelf. They are the unquestionable credibility backing every single part of his off-field empire.
All right, Section 3, breaking international records, becoming the global face of Portugal. Because beyond his club dominance, his international career took his visibility to a completely unprecedented global scale.
Now, I want you to really let this number sink in. 146. That's 146 international goals in 232 appearances. That makes him the highest overall men's international goal scorer in history. Honestly, it's a number that completely defies standard footballing logic. He didn't just score goals, he systematically dismantled historic records over time. You can see how he just marched past absolute legends of the game. He passed Hungary's Ferenc Puskás in 2018 for his 85th goal. And then, in 2021, he surpassed Iran's Ali Daei with goal number 110 to claim the ultimate crown as the outright leading scorer.
And check out this perfect balance because it brilliantly illustrates his consistency. 41 goals in FIFA World Cup qualifiers and exactly 41 goals in UEFA Euro qualifiers. He's actually the first player ever to score more than 50 goals in European qualification matches alone. What this shows is a relentless, grueling work ethic that perfectly mirrors his brand. He shows up for the hard, unglamorous work, not just the big, flashy finals.
Which brings us to Section 4, building the CR7 empire, turning athletic excellence into a global brand. Let's dive into the monetization phase and see exactly how he transformed all this sporting fame into a lasting, highly lucrative business ecosystem.
He created the CR7 identity really early on, and it's brilliant because it combines his initials and jersey number into something that represents hard work, daily discipline, and premium luxury.
He engineered it so that whether he's scoring a hat trick on the pitch or selling a premium fragrance in a high-end store, those core values remain crystal clear. Now this is where he really separates himself from the pack. Instead of just cashing endorsement checks to wear somebody else's logo, he built his own physical assets. We're talking CR7 footwear, apparel, fragrances, underwear. He even has the Pastana CR7 lifestyle hotels in major cities like Funchal, Lisbon, Madrid, and NYC. These aren't just branding exercises, they're physical, highly profitable destinations for his fans around the world.
Of course, he still partnered with other companies, but it was incredibly strategic. He didn't just take a check from anyone. He strictly selected brands that matched his personal image. You've got Nike for performance and winning, Clear for grooming and confidence, Herbalife for health and nutrition, and Binance for future-focused innovation. He actually left serious money on the table, refusing lucrative offers if they didn't align with his core values. That's how you keep an identity untarnished.
But here's the absolute masterstroke. He retained control of his personal image and licensing rights to build his own global identity. He did this early in his career, completely avoiding a trap that most athletes fall right into. By holding on to that power, he gave himself the leverage to build a self-sustaining empire where, well, he gets to keep the lion's share of the rewards.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, the power of influence, connecting directly with the world. This is the final piece of the puzzle, his massive digital footprint.
We're talking about a direct-to-consumer reach on a scale that is honestly hard to even fathom. Almost 1 billion followers across platforms? Just look at this. 600 million on Instagram, 150 million on Facebook, 100 million on X, and 50 million on YouTube. It's insane. This allows him to bypass traditional media entirely. He can speak straight to his fans without any filters, which makes his platforms incredibly valuable to sponsors and a massive, massive driver for his own product.
And the financial payoff of this dual-track trajectory? It's just incredible. Look at the estimated annual earnings. Sure, the club salary is a massive $200 million, but his off-field ventures, endorsements at $60 million, CR7 products at $50 million, social media pulling in $30 million, and hotels at $10 million, that's well over $100 million annually, completely independent of his playing contract. He's built a machine that doesn't actually require him to ever kick a football again.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to chew on this question. When an athlete's personal brand and business empire outlast their time on the pitch, do they become something more than just a player? Because with $1 billion legacy secured through hotels, clothing lines, and global partnerships, Cristiano Ronaldo has drawn the definitive blueprint for turning a temporary athletic career into a permanent global corporation. He isn't just an athlete anymore. He's literally an institution. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep looking for the fascinating structures behind the